Hello friends and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you are back. Either way, thank you so much for clicking on my video today. If you are new, hi, my name's Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them, and this video is super exciting. I am finally doing a Gory Fangtell cosplay. She just has such a cool character design in my opinion. I've always thought it like so freaking cool. There's a lot of really cool background characters in G1 of Monster High. Like there's the girl with like the round glasses and like the purple hair and the elf ears. I think she's like the prettiest thing ever. But also Gory is just like so freaking pretty with like the red and black aesthetic. So I've just been really wanting to do a cosplay of her. I got really inspired after I got this haircut, and last week just ran to the thrift store, got all my materials and made it up in like 2 days. So let's get into how I made the cosplay, and then we'll do the makeup and get all ready, and I'm really excited to take you on the journey. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. So we are starting with this red shirt that I found at Value Village for I think about $6. It's not very well fitting, so I'm turning it inside out and then pinching it to kind of the contours of my body and using some safety pins to hold it in place so I know somewhat where to draw my pattern out. You can also just use a shirt that you like the shape of as a guideline, but I'm doing this. Then I take out the safety pins and replace them with sewing pins and try it back on before I sew it down. But yeah, basically this is just to make it extra fitted and nice and flattering. Once all the pins are in and I am satisfied with the fit of it, I can use my sewing machine to just sew down the whole side. I think I'm just using like a zigzag stitch and some red thread so you can't really see it. I did touch it up a little bit after, adding a little bit more tightness in the bust area, but for now you can see me measuring the area for the sleeve cuffs that I want to do. So I'm measuring how tall I want them to be at the tallest point and how wide they need to be, just doubling the length of, half the sleeve. Then I'm taking some wrapping paper that has like a grid on it. I like it because it's easy to draw patterns on. And I'm marking out about 2 inches for the cuff to roll over the sleeve, and then marking 5 inches at the tallest point of the cuffs, making a little point there. And then I'm experimenting with sizes. On one side I made them slightly smaller, and then on the other side I made them slightly bigger, and I did like how they looked more on the bigger side. So once we have established that, I cross out the other one and I can fold my pattern in half so it's nice and even and get it started. So I cut out the pattern of my wrapping paper, just fold it in half so we get a symmetrical shape with just some basic scissors, and I do fold it over and try it on my sleeve and over the sleeve of the shirt just to make sure that it should fit. Then I take this black fabric that used to be an old shirt and pin the pattern over the fabric while it's folded in half. That way I can just cut out one set of sleeves at the same time. I'm using some fabric scissors and making sure to leave a space around everything for the seam allowance. I was scared to use my rotary iron because I didn't want to cut too deep by accident, so fabric scissors it is for this project. As long as everything's pinned down really nicely, you shouldn't have any problems with it being uneven. Then I can just cut it down the bottom, and this way I know that my sleeves are as even as I can get them. Next, I'm using my iron to fold down all the edges that I'll be able to hem with my sewing machine. Having an iron is just such an amazing investment. I love my iron so much. I used to just like use my hair straightener to do this kind of thing, and it's just this is a million times easier. I love it so much. Yes, just ironing all the points down, getting them nice and crisp as much as I can. And we are pulling out the sewing machine and just using a very small zigzag stitch to get everything nice and hemmed down evenly. The light bulb in my sewing machine broke, which is super sad. I do need to get a replacement one, and I should be on the way soon, but yeah, I tried to light things as best as I could. Once all the hems are sewn down, I'm using a white eyeliner pen because I didn't have any chalk to sketch out the pattern for the red stitching that Gory has. I'd recommend doing this on the inside of the garment so it's not as big of a deal if it doesn't wash out fully. But then I'm just using some red thread and a straight stitch to follow along that line and make the pattern. I didn't want to risk my hemming being messy and like do the hemming with the red, so that's why I'm kind of doing it as like a separate faux hem. Then I can take the cuff that I have made and fold it over the shirt, turn the shirt inside out and pin it to the inside of the sleeve, just making sure that enough of it will pop out when I fold it underneath, just using some sewing pins. Once it's pinned in place, I turn the sleeve inside out to double check the placement and make sure that I'm satisfied with it. It looks good, I'll fold it over, and I can go ahead, straighten it out, and stitch it down in place. First, I am just joining the two open parts together so that the sleeve is complete, and next I'm just putting the sleeve on my sewing machine and sewing everything down. I found that when I wore the shirt, the little spiky bat wing kind of things were flopping down, so I used a little stitch to keep those up in place. So that's the shirt done. You can see it on the mannequin in the back, and next it's time to work on the skirt. So I have the skirt that I also found at the thrift store. I put it on and measure out where I want the lowest and highest points to be. Then I go ahead and lay it flat and pin the front to the back. This way, when I'm trying to cut it, it won't be like slipping and sliding everywhere, and all my cuts will be nice and crisp. And then I fold it in half again so everything will be super symmetrical. I was worried that the fabric would be too thick, but this was like a super stretchy situation that was very thin, and I was able to cut through with my fabric scissors fairly easily. As usual, just leaving a little bit of space for a seam allowance. I was really worried that this wouldn't work. I was just kind of freehanding this pattern, being like, well, hopefully it is good, but I ended up being super satisfied with the result. Once it's all cut out, I can use my sewing pins to make a hem down all the edges. Since it was such stretchy fabric, I figured the iron wouldn't cooperate with it, so I decided to just go ahead with my sewing pin needles. It took a little bit longer, but I think it worked out in the end. And once it was all pinned in place, I went ahead and used my sewing machine to sew it all down. The first kind of point I tried a straight stitch on, and this was not great. It made it kind of curl in weirdly. I found that a zigzag stitch was much better and allowed for a lot more flexibility and movement. So yeah, just things you learn. Once it was all hemmed down, that's basically the skirt done. So now we're moving on to the accessories. So I was desperately searching my house for a little bell that I could use for Gory's bell, but all the ones that I had were more like jingle bell shaped and less like kettlebell shaped. And then I remembered that I have these really crappy plastic thimbles that came in those like mini sewing machines. This is a green one that I have, and I thought, hey, that's like pretty bell shaped, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And I went and used a big needle to poke a hole through the top of it and put an eye pin into the bottom of it. I also thought that the sound of a bell jingling all the time on the costume would be annoying, so honestly, happy with the way this turned out. And then I am taking a pin backing and attaching a toothpick as like the little stick that Gory has on her pin. I found that one toothpick didn't look great, so this is the first prototype. In the final project, I ended up using 2 toothpicks. Then I attach a little golden bead, and I have all my little pieces set out here. I didn't have any wing type things, but I thought these skeleton hands were like a good replacement. They were kind of the same shape, and I didn't have a spider web that was a good size, but I thought this little compass charm that was just hiding away in my jewelry stash was a good compromise. So I'm taking some gold acrylic paint, and after I've sprayed everything down with a matte spray, I'm going in with a paintbrush and just putting on a couple of layers of gold paint until everything is nice and uniform and not looking so plastic and mismatched and obviously fake. You want everything to dry and go in thin layers if possible, but I'm very, very happy with how everything turned out eventually. I am using rubber gloves because I originally thought I was going to use enamel paint, gold enamel paint, but I couldn't get the jar open. Anyway, this is how everything ends up looking with the gold acrylic paint. I sprayed it again with a little bit of matte spray to make sure everything's sealed on there, but I think it should be good. Next, I have these little plastic gems that I found at the dollar store. This is like a red one, and I'm just using it to give that little kind of gem in the center of the spiderweb situation. Then I have a bunch of little gold jump rings that I'm using to attach everything together. The thing that I had the most trouble with was getting a good position on these skeleton hands, but basically I wanted them to just be attached together and then have the bell hanging down from them and then have them kind of hanging off of the toothpick somehow. I ended up managing to achieve this by putting some jump rings onto the toothpick so they could kind of hang in there as well as be hot glued on, but it took a lot of trial and error, and what you are seeing is probably like 5 seconds of the final process, which ended up being like 15 minutes of me just finagling with things. But don't give up. You can do it if you believe in yourself. I ended up managing to get it on there, and I really, really like how it looks. I think it looks really accurate despite the fact that it's like skeleton hands instead of wings. And for the little bit of red detail, I'm just pulling out some acrylic paint and adding a little bit. It almost looks like the skeletons have their nails painted, which wasn't the intended effect, but is kind of funny and very Monster High, I think, so hey. Next I wanted to do the earrings. I have these little earring backs that I found forever ago at the craft store, and I was desperately searching for like a little figure 8 kind of metal thing that I could use to attach the bat wings to the earring to the gem, and I couldn't find anything, and then it just dawned on me to make one myself out of wire, so I made these 2 kind of little figure 8s out of wires, and I have my little earring backs. I take the figure 8 and attach it to the earring back and then sandwich the red gem on top of it. Again, these are the red gems from the dollar store. And then you can see that there's like a little loop hanging down, and that's what I will attach the bat wing to. Originally, I was planning to make some felt bat wings and embroider them, but then I found these plastic Halloween bats in my stash, and I thought that their wings would be perfect, except they were weirdly folded on one side because of the way they were stored. So I ended up just using like one good wing off each bat and then cutting them into the correct-ish shape, poking a needle through them to make the hole, using a little jump ring to make it attachable to the figure 8 that I made out of the wire, and then stringing it all together, and we've got some gory earrings that I feel like honestly look pretty accurate. And I have this tie that I found at the thrift store and this black fabric marker, and basically I just colored in all the gray stripes so they were black. I originally thought of like using a ribbon on just like a regular red tie if I couldn't find a striped one, and I think that would work, even though it might look a little bit weird because like if I didn't glue it down, then you would see the seams, and then if I did glue it down, then it might be like kind of strange and stiff. So honestly, being able to find a stripy tie and just coloring in the parts that I needed worked out fine. Plus, using a fabric marker means it shouldn't be like bleeding or anything, but I did do a test beforehand. It was a really big tie, so to turn it into a skinny tie, I just kind of pinned it in half right up to the point that it turned into like the fat part of the tie, if that makes sense, using my sewing machine to do a straight stitch all the way down it. There's probably a better way to turn a regular tie into a mini tie, but like I've said, when I get a project idea in my head, I just want to go, and instead of like professionalism, I just desire speed and completeness of it, and it's just for fun, you know, at the end of the day. So yeah, that was the tie done. And then for the shoes, this is super easy. I have these little wing things that I got forever ago as like boot attachments from like Wish or AliExpress or something. I'm just using a ribbon to lace them around these black heels that I found at the thrift stores a couple years ago. I considered painting the bottoms red, but I really like these heels as is, and I also considered like maybe taping the bottom with like red, or like maybe putting some fabric there, but I thought fabric might look strange and tape would just be a pain in the butt to get off that I was not willing to go through. So yes, that is the complete accessories and costume done. Let's get into the makeup. Hi friends! Okay, I look wild because of my bangs, I feel like, but listen, my thing with this is that I got V-bangs, and what does one do when they get V-bangs if not cosplay Gory Fangtell from Monster High? It was like a necessity, absolutely. I've had this idea in my head for like a while now, but about last week it just became really intense and I was like, I have to do this right now. It's gotta happen, and went to the thrift store, got all my materials, got it all sewn up, and now I'm finally doing the makeup. Hopefully this works. This is my first trial run, so ideally it's good. Also, ignore this giant zit on my face. I mean, it is what it is. It hurts and it sucks. It's hard with Gory because her makeup is kind of hidden behind her glasses, but I have like a reference picture that I'm checking and looking at beside me, but it looks just like pale face with like the mole here and like kind of grayish black eyeshadow, and then like very thin brows, which my brows are not thin, so it'll just be what it is. And like kind of a dark red lip on the top and a slightly lighter lip on the bottom. I don't have any foundation. I didn't feel like buying it just for this one video. I'm just using a bunch of concealer all over my face to do ideally the same thing as foundation would do. Hi! And I like to use concealer as like kind of primer on my eyelids for eyeshadow like every day, so this doesn't feel too dissimilar to that. And this was such an easy cosplay to make. Like if you look at the character design, it's like so simple yet effective. Like it looks so cool. A little like kind of like vampire school uniform situation, but it's just like a red top with like a black and red striped tie and like a skirt that's like has an interesting cut out of it. So I was very happy that it turned out the way that I wanted it to, because I'm always nervous when it comes to making cosplay. And I was thinking about it, and like I feel like I've made pretty much one Monster High cosplay every year for the past 3 years. First it was Frankie or Dracula, or maybe I made those at the same time. I feel like I made those at the same time when that pandemic first started. But I have those two, and now I have a Gory cosplay. But I still haven't done a full video on my Frankie one. I feel like maybe I should have done this in smaller time, like put a little blob at a time so it doesn't dry out on my face while I'm trying to do this. I haven't worn foundation and stuff in forever, so this feels very weird. And it's reminding me of, like, I don't know if anyone else in high school would put like makeup all over their face, including their lips. And then just like super dark eyeshadow. But that was my look of choice. Wow, this looks really wild on camera. I promise it looks a little more normal in person, and it will continue to look more normal as we go on. I should probably also do a little bit on my neck. I don't want to get too much on the collar. If my nose wasn't running, that would be ideal. But we do what we can with what we have. I live in a cold climate, and it just is kind of the norm. Okay. And I also haven't done contour in freaking forever, so I dug out of the depths of hell this ridiculously old Anastasia Beverly Hills palette that I think I got when I was like 16, so it's very old. It's almost, it's 9 years old now, if my math is correct. But I remember being like really excited about it and like saving up for it, because like at the time I was like on like watching makeup YouTube, and everyone was talking about like this palette is like so good. It's like the thing that you have to get, and like it's fine, I guess. It's probably not going to be very good now. Don't use expired makeup, do as I say, not as I do type of thing. Also now I'm just using some translucent setting powder, but we do what we can. So I had quite an intense week. I was at work for the past couple of days, but I ended up kind of, normally I work closing shifts, but it's been wild lately, and I had like last minute text to be like, hey, it's 1 in the morning, can you come in at 7, like type of thing. And I was like, not ideally, but sure, it's fine. So I've had a couple of those, which was kind of not the greatest, but I had the most wonderful unwinding night time last night. Cage and I went to a local bar. I'm just going in with some like black eyeshadow on a little angled brush here. But we went to a bar to watch a bunch of local music. First it was like kind of a goth rock band, which was amazing. It was like very Sisters of Mercy vibe. They were like wearing sunglasses on stage and just had like that awesome deep rumbly voice, and I was just like, ah yes, this is like so good. And then the second one was this awesome punk band that was like a little bit on the hardcore side, but it was just like super great. And the last one that we listened to, because we left it around 11, was more like metal. It was super cool. I love getting to see live music with Cage. Hi, these look so freaking thick. But I love being able to go out together and like to have a partner who's like into the same music that you are and is interested in going to shows and stuff. It's just like so freaking amazing. And even if it's like, hi, like the show starts at 8 and I get off at 8:30 and we can only stay till 11 because you have to work tomorrow or like whatever, like it still feels so fun to be able to go out and just like be in the crowd and like look at everyone's amazing like hairstyles and jackets and stuff. And like I'm not really a social person, but at some point I'd like to get the confidence up to talk to people. Obviously like you do the little like commentary with like, oh my god, like I love your jacket, or like cool earrings, or like whatever. But wow, these are way thicker than intended. I'm never very good at like starting up like small talk with like cool looking strangers, so that will be maybe a goal for the future. But in the meantime, it feels so good to be in that space around people that like the same music as you and like the same stuff as you. And like I grew up in a very small town about 45 minutes outside of the city, and like as a young person obviously you can't like go to bars and stuff, so I'd like very occasionally go to concerts, and that would always like feel super cool. But like really didn't have much experience with the live music scene, because I was like, hi, where am I gonna go? Like to the little local saloon to listen to some top 40 country? Like not really my favorite thing. No judgment if it's yours, but you know, it was like always a struggle. So being able to live in a city that has like a thriving music scene and being able to experience it, oh, it's so good, you guys. I feel so lucky. Like I need to just like stop messing with these, because like it is what it is. I considered gluing down my brows, but my eyebrows are like so thick that when you glue them down, like as much as I've tried to practice it, it like still seems really textured and like weird looking. So we'll just do Gory with thick brows. It is fine, it is what it is. I'm using the same black eyeshadow to do my eyes. I don't have gray, so I'm hoping to just smudge this out enough that it will be accurate. And it honestly looks like Gory does it straight up to her brow bone, even though it like kind of fades out. So maybe we'll see if we can find like a slightly lighter shade if we don't just want to fade it out super hard. But listen, I am flying by the seat of my pants. I am trying my best. We shall see what the result is, and if this is horrible, I will probably just try again, because that's all that one can do. But cosplay is so fun, and being able to like make your own cosplay is like something that has been really exciting and entertaining for me. Like, it's almost more fun to have the challenge of being like, okay, I have to like find everything at the thrift store, or like stuff around my house, and like rely on a couple of like costume stores, but for the most part like do things very like in a DIY sense. And it's just like so satisfying, because then you're like, wow, like this was like made by me and like fits me perfectly and is like my favorite character, and I like didn't have to spend an exorbitant amount of money on it. Like, I know you spent a lot of time on it, but like that honestly is like one of the exciting things about it for me. And it's just, it's so fun and cool. It's very exciting. I feel very lucky. I don't know how much like eyeliner Gory does out. It doesn't look like too much, but I'm gonna try to wear false lashes, and usually those make my eyes water like nobody's business, so wish me luck. I'm also gonna try to wear contacts, which I used to wear all the time before I was like into the glasses wearing life, but costume contacts are always a different deal for me. Man, I wish this zit was like on this side and slightly lower, because then it could basically be Gory's like little birthmark on her face, but it is what it is. We'll do like a little bit of eyeliner going out, but not like the dramatic wings that I'm used to, which will be a little bit weird. But listen, we'll do it. Oh my god, for a minute I thought I wasn't recording and I got so stressed out. Hi, this looks like very messy, but like, we'll just try to blend it. It'll be what it'll be. That's fine. It's like maybe a little darker than hers, but like that's fine. All right, let's use a little bit of eyeliner. Keyword little. Don't do your usual thing. And I never line my full eye like that, but it looks like she does, so we'll try that. Also, it looks like I'm getting eyeshadow in my waterline, which is not what we wanted. And then a little wing. A little tiny baby wing. Look how baby that is. That looks so weird. Oh my god. Like, just on me, because I'm not used to it. God, sorry, I keep thinking my camera's overheating. Okay, we're veering away from baby territory. But it's okay. Okay, enough. And then maybe we'll just do like a little bit of lower lashes. Like that. We're not going to use like fake lower lashes, and that looks like kind of cartoonish. Okie dokie. I don't know if those are long enough that they're even visible, but listen, it is what it is. Okay, and then let's do the contour first. Okay, so it looks like she has very sharp cheekbones. So we're gonna do our best to emulate those. I'm using like kind of a brush that's on the smaller end. I don't know if like brown, okay, whatever, we'll try this. That feels like very warm. And I'm thinking if I straighten my hair and put a little bit of purple hairspray in it, we should be pretty golden. Hi, does this look horrible? Okay. I feel like this side looks normal and this side looks crazy, but it might just be because of the light. No, that looks better. Also, the zit doesn't help, but can't do much about that. Whoa, that's black. Let's not do that. I almost picked up my eyeshadow brush to do that one. Like, this is very dramatic, but I also feel like hers is very dramatic. Why do my eyebrows look like that? We're doing our best. We're hanging in there by a thread, my friends. Listen, this is just the first trial. This is the first time. If it's horrible, understandable. We'll live. Okay, I'm gonna do some like black eyeliner on my top lip to make it a little bit darker on the top than on the bottom. And hers is also like not, like I usually do mine like round, but hers is like slanted. Okay. Okay, well, it's something. Okay, got like a dark red lip liner for the bottom. Hello, stay down, please. Okay, and then we'll try to put on the lipstick. I have a teeny tiny lipstick sample that's from Hard Candy. It seemed like a good color, so we'll try it. Okay, I'm perfect at putting on lipstick. I'm really good at it. It's my best skill. And now like all around my lips are red, which is great. Okay, let's try to fix this, guys. I feel like it looks terrible, so I'm gonna try to keep blending out this eyeshadow, maybe? I never do my eyeshadow so high, so it looks weird that it like ends halfway up. So we're just gonna do it straight to the top, like all around this like mole here. And I feel like I should probably put in the contact lenses soon, but I'm gonna do my hair first. Okay, so this is the makeup so far, other than the lashes and the contacts and the ears and the fangs and all that. I'm gonna try to straighten my hair and do my bangs and do all that. So hopefully it works out. I've waited basically all week to do this because I definitely am gonna want to wash my hair after I straighten it out and like possibly put purple stuff in it. So that's why it looks wild, and also because I never like wear it down. But hi, this is the hair. Yeah, it's like, sorry, that's my hair straightener. It's like kind of more on the red and black side than the purple and black side. So I did get like a little bit of hairspray to use to kind of give that more gory effect. I don't know how well it'll work out, but even if it's not super visible or if it doesn't look super purple or like whatever, I honestly think that like red hair works on Gory as well, like reddish black, because her whole other color combination, her whole other color combination is very red and black, so I feel like it should work. My hair is so greasy. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna try to straighten it, and hopefully it kind of looks like her hair, because when I was getting it cut and it was down and it had its like V-fringe and everything, I was like, hi, this is Gory. Or it could be, with the right things. Let's try this. I also cut my bangs yesterday, so they should be fairly pointy, but if they're not, I can always give them another trim to get them extra severe. Oh my god, I haven't straightened my hair in so long, like all my hair especially. I remember I used to do this like all the time before school. That's crazy. It keeps like flipping outwards, which I don't want at all. Oh my god, this looks like my emo haircut that I used to have. I'll have to like fluff it up at the top. Okay, we can do this, guys. Can you stop flipping? Like, what is this? Okay, well, it's something. So I'm gonna try to spray some purple streaks into this and see what happens, slash try to mess with it a little bit more. I don't know why it won't stay straight. I might put like some hair gel in it and see if that'll help it just straighten out, because like what the f. Okay, I don't know which I hate more, putting in contact lenses or putting in false lashes, but I think it's putting on false lashes. So, I'm gonna start with the contact lenses. My eyes are already watering. This is what I was worried about. I was like, should I do my makeup first or the lenses first? Because what if my eyes water? But we decided to take a risk. Also, I just cut my bangs, can you tell? I promise it's even, it just like looks like this side's shorter because of the way it's flipping up. And if it's not even, it's fine. Okay, I'm trying to like open these. So these are from Primal. I just got them at my local costume shop, and the style I got them in is called Blood Eye. It's just like a red contact lens. So let's try the thing. Just deep breaths. It's not gonna be that hard. You can do it, and you will be fine. Contact lens 1 is in. Eyes are watering, so I'm just gonna give it a minute. I really like the red contacts. I think it looks really cool. Oh, I'm excited for my eyes to stop watering so I can appreciate this more. But I'm just gonna put the other one on off camera, and I'll catch up with you. Okay, so the lenses are in, and I've decided I'm just not gonna bother with lashes. It's, my eyes are so sensitive as is already with lenses, and I like how it's looking so far, and if I put on lashes and everything just goes to death because the things are making my eyes water, I would be very sad. So we're just gonna continue. Do I look more like Kieran Valentine with the red hair? So we got these little elf ears on. These are like very comfy, but I wanted to give like just a little bit that would like poke out. I have these Fangs that I've been using forever. They give me a little bit of a lisp, but it's fine. Okay. And I guess all that's left is just to get dressed, and that is somewhat of a private event, so I will be joining you when I'm accessorizing, I suppose. I was not sure about everything earlier, like when I started my makeup and when I did the purple hairspray and it wasn't spraying purple and this and that, but I am, oops, my tooth fell out for a minute there. I am feeling this very much. I feel very much like Gory. My one problem is that Gory's hair is like super straight down, but when I try to straighten my hair straight down, it does that stupid flippy do thing. So I'm just kind of doing it a little messier instead, even though that is like a little bit more like emo and less like cool vampire lady, but whatever. I have the glasses. Hi. And these earrings. Let's get those in. And then I'll do a full outfit reveal. I was honestly not gonna buy, like I thought about getting a pair of thrift store heels and painting the soles red for this outfit, but knowing myself, I like honestly wouldn't wear them for more than this outfit. And I have so many shoes already that I figured like let's just use a pair of black heels and add these little like wing attachments to them. Sorry, I'll get my ear that fell off. Yeah, I figured not to purchase a new pair of heels because the shoes aren't like that important to the character design in my opinion. It's more like the top half that's more interesting. And also the tights, I'll show you, they're not super accurate because I just used a pair that I had in my closet because I was like, these are good enough, and all my other tights have giant rips in them, so I figured. Sorry, I'm trying to like get the V-bangs to be like visible. When I do that, it looks very darky. We will finagle with this a little bit. And also these glasses I just found at the thrift store, popped out the lenses, washed them with dish soap, and we were good to go. Yeah, let me fluff up my hair a little and put my heels on, and then we will do a full reveal of the entire look. I am super happy with it so far. So this is the final look. I really like it. The only complaint that I have is the hair. I thought it would look so good because I have V-bangs, but it kind of looks very like messy, and like Gory's is so straight and stuff. But yeah, and then also the purple did not turn out like at all, but you know, it is what it is. I also was worried that this outfit looked really like librarian-ish with the glasses. Like I was like, I just look like a vampire librarian. That was before I got the tie, and I feel like the tie really fixes that, and it looks much more like cool, like school uniform kind of looking. I am so happy with it, dude. Got the ears, got the hair, these little glasses, the earrings. I'm like super happy with how they turned out. The eyes, the makeup is okay. Maybe I like could have worked a little bit harder on that. I'm a little anxious about it, but it is what it is. I think I'm just not used to seeing myself in this style of makeup. I hope that's what it really is. The shirt I'm so happy with. It feels like super flattering. This tie looks a little weird in real life with like the colored in gray, but I like it. It works for the cosplay. The sleeves I'm really happy with, and I am honestly delighted about this little thing that I made. The skirt is super cute. This is a thing that I could actually see myself wearing like outside of just this cosplay. Like I think it's just like a really cool fun piece, like a little vampire skirt. Hello, like this would look so good at like a concert with like my big jacket and like all that kind of thing. Then these tights, basically are my only ones that I had that didn't have holes in them. The problem with them is that the back has like this, but you're just seeing it from the front, it's fine. So yeah, ignore that. And then these shoes, I was like thinking of putting duct tape on the soles to make it red or like doing something like that, but I honestly didn't want to deal with the stickiness of getting duct tape off, even with Goo Gone or something. So these are just the heels that I chose. And yeah, basically this is the fit, this is the look, this is the outfit. I feel so much like a cartoon character, it's not even funny. I'm super happy with it, even with the fact that like I get a little bit of a lisp with the fangs. I'm so happy with the contacts, they're so comfy. I'm so happy with how the costume looks. This is like the first attempt at the makeup, but I'm sure if I do it again it'll be even better. And yeah, I didn't really make this costume for any specific like con or event or anything coming up. I just really wanted to have a Gory Fangtell outfit because she is so pretty, and even though she's like a mean girl and like honestly like kind of a horrible character if you think about like her like vampire supremacy values, her look is just so iconic that I was like, listen, we have to do it. So yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little tutorial slash show off of my little cosplay that I made and got done. And yeah, I hope it inspired you to maybe DIY some of your own cosplay pieces in the future, or your whole cosplay or whatever. This is so much fun. I really would love to do more of these in the future, but I don't know if I have any like plans anytime soon. I'm honestly like really happy with how this turned out, and I'm probably satiated for the next little while. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Bye!